Keeping it real, who that sports pod, legendary coach Rock, Dog 17, let's rock. Who that? Boss kick, black and gold, let's go. First and goal, from the one, best believe, we go punch. Punching in, get them punch, with them saints, watch us march. Down the field, down your throat, keeping it real, who that sports. Breaking news, interviews, open lines, just for you. Call in, join in. Who that nation? How you doing? Come on in. Take a seat. Sit back, relax. Put your feet up. Grab a drink, and let's talk Saints football. Y'all know what time it is. Time to keep it real. Let's go. Welcome, family. It's your boy, Dolph Jackson. It's the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast. We in the building, baby. Listen. New Orleans Saints get their first win of the season, man, last Sunday against the New York Giants. Now, how impressive was that victory against the Giants? Just think about this. In the last 3 weeks, the Giants have faced two of the most prolific teams right now to start the NFL season in the Philadelphia Eagles and the and the LA Chargers. The Chargers, of course, came into that game undefeated. And we saw it was Jackson Dart's debut. And, of course, the Giants defeated the Chargers. Then, just last night, what a performance by the New York Giants as they took it to the world champion Philadelphia Eagles in a very impressive victory last night. So, that Saints victory last week against the Giants, where they held the Giants offense to just 14 points while forcing 5 turnovers, but not just 5 turnovers. I'm not saying, when I say just not 5 turnovers, it's how they got the 5 turnovers, family. Yeah, we had the 2 intercepts by Kool-Aid McKinstry. And first of all, shout out to Kool-Aid McKinstry, man, for being named Defensive Player of the Week, man, in the NFC for his performance against the New York Giants. And he's Kool-Aid again. I told you, baby. Look, we had to take that big spoon and really stir the bottom of that pitcher, man, to get that sugar to mix in, baby. He's Kool-Aid again, baby. Because to start the season before last week, he was playing like sugar-free, baby. He was sugar-free, but he's Kool-Aid again, man. Again, congratulations to Kool-Aid, man, for being named Defensive NFC Player of the Week. Well deserved, my man. Now, I'm saying all this to say this, family, that the New Orleans Saints victory against the New York Giants after last night looks even more impressive. I know the Giants winning that game 1-4, but they were playing. They came in on a high against the Saints. They started off like world beaters against the Saints. The Saints answered the call. The Saints galvanized together, and the Saints came out of that game with a victory. Now, this Sunday in the Superdome, they'll be facing another team that's coming off a high, but this team's above 500. This team has won consecutive games. This team just went into Orchard Park and beat the Buffalo Bills, something the Saints failed to do a week prior. The difference between what New England did and what the Saints were unable to do against Buffalo was quite simply they capitalized when they had the opportunity. They capitalized when they had the opportunity. Now, despite the Saints winning last week, there's one area that continues to be a concern for this team. You force 5 turnovers, but you go a donut in the red zone. The Saints could not score in the red zone. You got to score touchdowns. Field goals would get you beat. That game should not have been as close as it was against the Giants. When you get 5 turnovers from your defense, there is no way that game should have been as close as it was. Now, granted, it could have been 32-14 if a certain kicker would have made all his field goals. And we'll touch on that before we get on out of here today. But today, family, we're previewing the Saints and the Patriots coming up this Sunday afternoon, 12 p.m. in the Caesars, Louisiana Superdome. The New England Patriots again come in on a high after defeating the Buffalo Bills. Stephon Diggs, man, he turned back the time last week, man. He had something to prove going back to Buffalo. And listen, Stephon Diggs' name will live in forever in New Orleans Saints Who Dat Nation's memory as one of the most hated players in that Who Dat Nation just does not like. And we know why. I'm not even going to say it. You already know why. Right now, a lot of you shaking your head like, damn, dog. I know, man. I know. But listen, man, last week, Diggs went off, man. He had himself a game last week. Hell, 10 catches on 12 targets for 146 yards. And by the way, he's had back-to-back 100 or more plus yards a game, 100 or more plus yard games the past 2 weeks, excuse me. So Kool-Aid McKinstry, Alante Taylor, they gonna have to be up on it, man. They gonna have to be up on their game because they getting the dog. Listen, we understand when Stephon Diggs is healthy, man, and he's into it, he's healthy, he's mentally and physically right. Stephon Diggs is one of the better receivers in the National Football League, and he just reminded a lot of people of that this past Sunday night. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup to watch. Now, Hunter Henry, the tight end for the Bills, kind of a quiet night, about 43 yards on 2 receptions. But again, look at that average. And we know last week against the Giants, Theo Johnson, the young rookie tight end for the Giants, early on, he had the only 2 touchdowns for the Giants. So the Saints are gonna have to do something to try to control the tight ends and not let these tight ends get loose on them for the Patriots. Now, before we go any further, family, I know we got family members coming in, baby. As you're coming in, hit that like button, baby. Hit that subscribe button. And for all the family members, your boy DOLPH is here, baby. It's Friday, baby. Keeping it real, Who Dat Sports Podcast. We talking about Patriots, Saints this Sunday in the Dome, baby. We talking football, period. And you know how we do, family. It's Friday, so we're going to have some fun in this thing, baby. So with that being said, family, the doors are now open. So come on in. All right, let's see who's in the building right now. Coming on in. My guy's in here, my brother, J-Rock. Rock, what's going on with you, baby? Come on in. J-Rock's in the building. Jason K, how you doing? Come on in. Jason K says Rattler gonna stack some victories now. Listen, it's gonna be a difficult task now. It's gonna be a difficult task. Those Patriots, man. Let me tell you something. And y'all already know. For those of you who don't know, One of my favorite players in the National Football League plays for the New England Patriots. In fact, if I was starting a franchise and I had to pick me a young defensive back, a young cornerback, he wears number 0 for the Patriots, and he would be my choice, Christian Gonzalez. That kid's that damn good, I'm telling y'all. And this Sunday, Shaheed, Olave, Cook, Valet, whoever's in the game, they're going to have their work cut out when they're matched up with Christian Gonzalez. Now, who's else is in the building? Jerry, how you doing? Come on in. Uncle Jerry's in the building, baby. Thank you for being here, Jerry. I will be opening up the lines, family, for you to come on in if you would like to join your boy Dolph. But let's get back into this preview, talking about the New England Patriots. Now, this past, again, Sunday in Orchard Park, man, a great performance by the New England Patriots. You got to give kudos to Coach Vrabel and his staff, Coach McDaniels, as they have gotten that team ready. And listen, that young team is rolling, man, and they have a young quarterback, a young promising quarterback who showed promise last year. Many believe he's that talented, believe that he's one of the young quarterbacks who came in last year who has a chance to develop into something special. And right now, Drake May is playing good football for the Patriots. Late in that game, man, the game's tied. He rolls out to the right side, has a defender all over him, going down to the ground, and he delivers the ball before his knee hits the ground, delivers a strike. I believe it was to Diggs on the sideline. Just a hell of a play by Drake May. He's athletic. He's not a statue back there. So the Saints defense will have to do a better job in corralling the quarterback as far as not letting him hurt them with his legs with Drake May. He doesn't run as much as Jackson Dart has been running, but Drake May is not a statue. Drake May can take off, and he can hurt you with his legs. Now, speaking of Drake May, again, he's coming off an impressive performance against Buffalo, passing for 273 yards. He averaged 9.1 yards per attempt and finished with a QB rating of 101. So nothing to sneeze at right there when it comes to Drake May. And in fact, family, this in the 5 games so far this season for the Patriots, this has been the QB rating for Drake May. Week 1, which was his lowest QB rating against the Raiders, he had an 80.6 rating, QB rating. Week 2 against the Dolphins, he had a 137.3 rating and a 33-27 victory over the Dolphins. He was slinging that thing. Now, against the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers, in that game, he had a 102.1 QB rating. Then against the Panthers in the game where they just demolished the Panthers, he had almost a perfect game. Perfect QB rating, 155.6. He was 14-17 in that game for 203 yards, and he averaged just under 12 yards per attempt. And last week, of course, this past Sunday night against Buffalo, the young man goes 22 of 30 for 273 yards. No touchdowns, but he did average 9.1 yards per completion. Now, something to keep an eye out for. Now, he had that game against Buffalo. Everything was not kudos for the Patriots. First of all, they were held to 71 yards on the ground on 22 attempts. Going to have to get the running game going to help out their young quarterback. Stevenson, their running back, continues to have problems holding on to the football. Saints just forced 5 turnovers. Listen, the Saints will not force 5 turnovers this Sunday. They will not. But they will need to, in my opinion, the Saints will need to at least force 2 to 3 turnovers in this game and capitalize by scoring at least 2 touchdowns off those turnovers if they want to have a chance to defeat the Patriots this Sunday in the Caesar Superdome. And by the way, the Patriots have scored 23 points or more in 3 of their last 4 games. Again, 42 against the Panthers, 23 against the Bills, 33 against the Dolphins. They only scored against the Steelers. They only scored 14 in their loss. But again, they have won 3 out of their last 4. 3 out of those last 4 games, they have scored 23 or more points in those games. So that is something to keep an eye on in this game. If we're looking at this from the Saints side, from the Saints defensive side, that is their threshold. The problem is the Saints come in with the 24th ranked scoring defense in the National Football League. The Saints are giving up 27 a game. Now, they only gave up 14. They're gonna have to play bend but don't break defense much of the year. They're gonna have to create turnovers. In this game, they're gonna have to get after Drake May. Gonna have to hit him, harass him, get him off his spot. Gonna have to make the pocket muddy for him. Can't let him have a clean pocket back there. They have to make Drake May feel him. And the one thing they can't allow to happen is the running game to get going for the Patriots. Thus, bringing in that play action, man. And then he's got Diggs out there, man. He's got Kayshon Boutte is coming home, the former LSU receiver. He's got Hunter Henry, one of the better tight ends in the National Football League, out at his disposal. So that's another area that the Saints will have to compensate for. Now, last week, speaking of corralling the quarterback, the Saints were only able to sack Jackson Dart one time last week on 40 attempts. One time. That's because Jackson Dart, man, he was getting out of there because the Saints were undisciplined in their rush lanes. You got to be disciplined, man. I know a lot of people feel like when you're playing quarterbacks today, if it's not Patrick Mahomes, really if it's not Lamar Jackson, if it's not the reigning MVP Josh Allen, guys who are known to be runners of the ball and run well with the ball, that other quarterbacks in the league now are the days of quarterbacks primarily being just statues back there in the pocket are gone. I don't care if they're not the best at doing that. Your modern quarterback today, no matter who he is able to get out of the pocket and hurt. For instance, let's stay here in the NFC South. Was Baker Mayfield thought of as a running quarterback, as a quarterback that can hurt you with his legs? But Baker Mayfield, if you guys haven't been paying attention over the last several years, has been hurting teams with his escapability, his pocket presence, and his ability to get out of the pocket. Drake May possesses some of those skills, fam. He has a good arm. He has a above average arm, so it's a good arm. He's a good arm. He's a good quarterback. I like Drake May ever since he was at North Carolina. So Drake May, the Saints are gonna have to harass this kid. They're gonna have to make him uncomfortable all day long. And one thing the Saints are gonna have to do, they're gonna have to tackle. They're gonna have to tackle, man. You cannot allow a 7-yard completion to turn into a 25 or more yard completion. You got to tackle, man. And what I would like to see more of and this is from Kool-Aid, Alante, all the DBs, man. I would like to see them competing. We do not need to see wide receivers wide open, contested catches, battle. That's what we need this Sunday to try to get out this dome with a victory against the 3-2 Patriots, a team that has won 3 of their last 4 games. Man, they beat Buffalo, man. They beat the Dolphins. They ran all over the Panthers, man. They were right in it with the Steelers. The one game they lost 21-14. And again, you got a young quarterback coming in here that has been, listen, he's growing up, family. He's playing. He's getting more reps. He's getting more experience. He's a leader. The guys believe in him there in New England. And speaking of, again, the Saints pass rush, man, looks like we're going to have Chase Young. Indications are that Chase Young could make his season debut this Sunday against the Patriots. Now, again, like I said, the Patriots allowed 4 sacks against the Bills. Now, when they demolished the Panthers a week earlier, they only allowed 1 sack. But take away that Panther game, they have allowed 3 or more sacks in each game. So that should tell us that the Saints defensive front will have an opportunity to get after Drake May. The thing is, how consistent will the pressure be? And when you get there, can they turn those pressures into sacks? I'm going to take some comments right now. All right. Let's say, Country Rail, how you doing? Come on in. Rail's in the building. Tim Dunn. Tim, how you doing, my brother? Come on in. Tim's in the building. Jason K said, Gonzalez better than Sanker and Kool-Aid. Gonzalez is one of the best in the business to me, brother. With Cam, Chase, Grando, and Brees, we will have a good pass rush and get hurries and sacks this Sunday. Count on it. Again, we're going to have to, bro. We're going to have to, because if you give this kid time with no pass rush, listen, you only can cover so long, man. You only can cover so long. And again, I think sometimes we forget that the pass rush and coverage go hand in hand. If you have if the initial rush isn't good at first, but you have good coverage on the backside, that's how you get your coverage sacks. Or if it's a good initial rush, you get the quarterback off his mark. He's not comfortable as he normally would be, and going through his progressions, you force him to get rid of the ball before he wants, maybe just a hair, a tenth of a second or two before he wants to, and that can result in an inaccurate pass. That can result in a bad ball. That can result in a turnover, something that the Saints would definitely be searching this Sunday and will need in this contest. All right, Jason, thank you for that. Let me see who else is in there. Maxine J says Kool-Aid has to be consistent. That's the thing, man. He's Kool-Aid now. He earned Kool-Aid. I listen. Y'all know this whole season until Sunday, I refused to call him Kool-Aid until Kool-Aid showed up. Now, Kool-Aid showed up Sunday. He showed up Sunday because before that, it was sugar-free, baby. I hope we don't have to go back to calling him sugar-free. I hope Kool-Aid's Kool-Aid the rest of the year. The kid's talented. It's the National Football League. And I think what we have to remember, also family, including your boy, Dolph, is just like the offense, that system is new to the offense. This is a new system to this defense. So it's going to take them time to gel as a unit, family. And hopefully this defense can come along a little faster and keep us in it. Yeah, bro. Look, listen, he was sugar-free, man. Sugar-free McKinstry is what I was calling him before he turned back into Kool-Aid on Sunday. He was sugar-free McKinstry, baby. But I ain't calling my boy that no more because he's earned it. He's Kool-Aid McKinstry once again. All right, man. So let's get back to some notes and stuff, man. So again, the Saints facing off against the Bills this Sunday. We congratulate Kool-Aid on his 2 intercept performance against the Giants last week. And again, that win by the Saints now looks very impressive. And what the Giants went out and did to the Philadelphia Eagles, man. That's why this NFL, man, it's any given Sunday is such a true fact, man. Any given Sunday, man. Any given Sunday. I mean, if you think about, listen, the Giants beat the Chargers, who were undefeated. The Giants come, they lose to Saints. Then they go out, they beat the world champion Eagles. You had the Falcons on Monday Night Football just smother and destroy the Minnesota Vikings. Then they come back the next week against Carolina and they get shut out. This league is, hey, you got to be ready each and every single Sunday. I don't care what a team's record is. I don't care who's on the field. If you're not prepared, if you're not mentally and physically prepared, if you're not locked in, you will get beat. you will get beat. I don't care who it is. And right now, who's the most dominant team? Is there a dominant team in the National Football League? 2 weeks ago, many of us would have said the Eagles and the Bills, the Lions. Now everybody's going to say the Lions. The Lions have lost, but they look good. Right now, they're the #1 team in the table of 32 power rankings here on the Come On In Sports Network, and for good reason. Ever since week 1's loss against Green Bay, the Lions have just been rolling over everybody, baby. They have been showing you how talented they are. That first week, baby, that's behind them. Right now, they're winners of 4 consecutive games, and they look damn good doing it. Now, I will say this, and then we're going to get back to this Patriots Saints game. Who the Ravens play this week? Let me look at these games. Who the Ravens play this week? The Rams. Man, the Rams going to score 40 this week. I don't know what happened to that team, that defense, but if your offense is ailing, just play the Ravens. That's all I'm going to say, and I'm going to leave that alone. Shout out to my boy Mars. What up, nephew? Had to get you, baby. Had to get you. All right, family. Now, I'm going to share a video with your family here. Former New Orleans Saint left tackle and one of the best offensive linemen in the history of the New Orleans Saints. He's not the best. He's one of the best. The best would be Willie Roaf, and he's next. He's next, in my opinion. And now I'm talking about Teron Armstead, of course. T. Stead has his own podcast called The Set, and he had Mr. Grabs on with him. And he just happened to be talking about his former team, the New Orleans Saints, and their young signal caller. Let's hear what T. Stead had to say about the Saints. Here we go.
The Saints get their first win and looking to go back-to-back.
The
first time winning 2 games in a row since week 1 and 2 last season. We all saw that second game when they smacked the Cowboys. BTA, we thought the Saints were going to the Super Bowl. I thought the Saints were going to the Super Bowl after what they did to the Cowboys last year. Man, they looked unstoppable. And then they went on and didn't win another game for like 8 or 9 weeks. It was so crazy how everything unfolded, for sure. But now, whole new regime, new coaching staff, new everything. It's a lot of new over there. Spencer Rattler has been impressive to me all season. I've been saying it since week 1. He's a guy that loves to compete. He's not looking to be a placeholder. He's looking to be the franchise guy. He's looking to be the franchise quarterback for the New Orleans Saints from now for the foreseeable future. He's playing that way at a high level, man. I really like Spencer Rattler, and he's starting to get his weapons more involved too. Finally hit a big shot to Rashid Shaheed, went 87 yards on a big touchdown. Got to get Chris Olave going more, Alvin Kamara more involved. But I like the Saints, and I think that they can get this win against the Patriots, who's coming off a high after beating the Buffalo Bills last week.
I think the big thing for New England is avoiding that emotional letdown right after a primetime win in Buffalo. I mean, that's no small win to go up there and do that.
No,
and
no question. No question.
Big plays down the stretch to set you up to do that. But I think for New Orleans, to your point with Spencer Rattler, I've been really impressed with it. When he was coming out of South Carolina, there was this gunslinger element to him where there was like he lived on that edge, and like there was times where it was like he went over the edge with the recklessness of trying to make too much happen. But then you reflect on, he's thrown 1 interception this season. He's getting sacked on less than 5% of his dropbacks. So he's avoiding the negative plays that are like the drive-killing kinds of mistakes or set a team up on a short field.
I'm going to stop it right there because he's saying some things I think that many of us in Who That Nation need to understand. There are still those in Who That Nation who are Rattler non-supporters. Nah, hell with it. Y'all haters. Y'all just haters. So you are waiting for this young man to fall on his face. You are waiting for him to have that terrible game. In fact, many of you have lost money because a lot of you thought he'd be replaced by week 4. Well, we're going into week 6, and I'm telling you right now, if Spencer Rattler continues to play good football, it ain't perfect by all means. So first, let me start there and say this. He got to get more accurate with his balls. He has to stop throwing behind receivers. It happens too much in games. But the improvement I saw, there was still moments Sunday, but the improvement I saw was those plays on the game with inside the game. What I mean is the play to seal the game. That pass to Rashid Shaheed, he hit that this week. He missed it the previous weeks. That touchdown strike to Rashid Shaheed, he hit that this week. He missed those in the past. So we're seeing growth out of Spencer each and every single week. Now, he only has one turnover on the season. Really, I count the ones called back by penalty. He has 3. Okay, he has 3 interceptions in my book on the season, but that's still not bad. Now, the thing that Kyle is saying and T-Stat is saying that, hey, they got to start getting Alvin and Chris more involved in this offense. Right now, family, Chris Olave is averaging 8.4 air yards per target this season. That is a career low for him by 2.5 yards. That's that means 13% of his targets have been behind the line of scrimmage, which is a career high by almost 4%. So they're not. So right now it's screens, it's bubble screens, it's things like that. No, Chris Olave is one of the better route runners in the league. I think that this offense is going to evolve as they go. And I think this past Sunday, you saw them, of course, on that touchdown. They come in 13, I believe they're in 13 personnel with the 1 wide. Normally they run there. Self-scouting. John see that. Hey, they're going to run what? Man, you send Shaheed, he gets past the safety and the corner, man, because what? They're looking in the back for expecting to run. So the Saints broke their own tendency there. And what Kellen Moore and like Mr. Kraft said, like T-Stat said, man, was this, man. Spencer, right now, Spencer's not taking. He's taking calculated risks. That's what I'm going to say. He's taking calculated risks with the ball. So basically, Kellen Moore has Spencer Rattler in the mode of if the deep shot's not there, take what's underneath. You understand what I'm saying? If the big ball's not there, if the deep ball's not there, you take what's underneath. Take the check down. There's nothing wrong with that. I know we want him to push him down the field. When it's right, you push it. Sunday, that Shaheed, it was right. That was the right call, right time. That was the right play, and he made the play. He had to make the play. He couldn't miss that. So let's finish hearing from T-Stat and Mr. Krabs.
And for that maturity from Spencer in his second season, I think is the part of his game that you're most impressed by. I mean, he had an interception on more than 2% of his attempts last year. It's right now it's at 0.5%. Like he's cut that by like a quarter or by 3/4.
Progression, family.
And his sack rate was 9% last year versus it's 4.8 this year. So those drop-offs and growth for Spencer, I think there's some responsibility there that you could probably nod to Kellen Moore with how good of an offensive coach I think he is, and getting his hands on a young guy like this that you can mold. And to your point with the weapons, the one thing about New Orleans, man, they got speed on the outside, whether it's Chris or Shaheed. Like they're getting Taysom Hill back as kind of a fun do-it-all kind of player for you. So they're not short on weapons. It's really just about learning to walk that balance between being the proper amount of aggressive to not put the ball in harm's way, but facilitate some of those big plays down the field.
I want to talk about 2 other weapons too, Kyle. You mentioned Olave, Shaheed, Taysom Hill coming back. They got some more weapons up front. These 2 young tackles. And like I say, I'm showing love to the trenches all night. That's what we're doing tonight. These 2 young tackles, Kelvin Banks Jr., Talise Fuaga, these guys are weapons as well. They're both sitting right now with a 64 PFF overall grade, but there's solid grades right now. It's so much room for growth and improvement with these guys. I can see elite traits from both. The pass set fire consistently, hand timing, hand placement. They still have more to learn, more tools to add to their toolbox that will make them more dangerous. Maybe not right now, but I am super excited for these guys' future. As you talked about duos, tackle duos, we talked about Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. These tools that will start to find their way into the conversation of duos. And I think it'll start to happen in the early parts of their career. Both of these guys really have everything that you're looking for when you're looking at offensive linemen and tackles specifically. They show a lot to be excited about for the future. I can't wait to watch the evolution of their games throughout their career, and that bodes well for Spencer Rattler and the rest of those weapons on the outside. What are you seeing from these two young guys?
Yeah, I remember doing both the college evals on both these guys when they came out, and it was just like the raw athleticism and what they're able to do at their size when they get in space, whether that's on the second level or the front side of point of attack when we're running outside. That athleticism is so apparent for both of them. I love that the selection of Banks allows them to move Fuaga back to right tackle, where obviously he was a right tackle at Oregon State, goes over to the left side, is now back over on that right-hand side. And both of these guys as guys that have displacement ability and power, but athleticism to play in space. Like, to your point about what you're looking for, this isn't like a light in the trunk kind of guy that, hey, we can stretch out the point of attack on wide zone, but if a guy's going to take me down the middle and I got to drop my anchor, I'm going to struggle to do it. Like, they have all of it. And it's to your point that it's just that refinement of the technique. That as they continue to grow and mature and get older, should only allow them to have very healthy periods of time in which they're in their prime, health willing. And I think it's a great foundation for them to kind of explore what this next chapter under Kellen Moore looks like.
For sure. The Saints were beneficiaries of 5 turnovers last week. The Giants turned the ball over 5 times, and that helped the Saints secure this win. Not to say that they will get 5 turnovers this week as well, but I think they get a couple, and they upset the Patriots. That's crazy to say.
So let me just say this. Let me just say this. I said it earlier. We all. All right. What's going on? There we go. We know the Saints are not getting 5 turnovers, fam. We know this. It's obvious. The Saints will not get 5 turnovers this Sunday. But again, like I said at the opening of the show, family, pressure. The old saying, pressure busts water pipes, right? Saints are going to have to apply a lot of pressure on Drake May. But here's the problem so far with this Saints defense. The Saints have generated a 25.4 pressure rate this season. That's the second lowest in the NFL. Now, they're the second lowest in pressure rating and in pressuring the quarterback, but they're 10th in the league in blitzing. They have blitzed the opposing quarterback at a 32% clip. And yet, they're one of the lowest, the second lowest in pressure rate, generating pressure. So we all, and I'm doing the stream minute, would say, man, Brandon Staley, he got the change, he got the blitz. Hell, he's sending 5 not getting there. But damn, he gonna have to send 6, 7. But how many can he afford to send? And listen to me good when I say this. How many can he afford to send when his young secondary right now, his young corners and his slot guy, because Alante's still a young guy right now, I don't think he's fully trusts them or wants to leave them out on the island by themselves, but he's going to have to pick his moments, I believe. You're going to have to trust these kids. You're going to have to let them loose. You're going to have to let them play football. I believe they are capable of it. Listen, they go take their lumps. like every young player in the National Football League that came in. Even those who came in shining still took their lumps. You go have your lumps. You got to take it. And simply put it, either it's going to make you or it's going to break you. And if it break you, hey, that's why it's called National Football League. Not for long. Because that means not for long before they move on and find somebody else who can do the job. So let's finish up with this video, and then we go get into another one.
Upset. They beat the Patriots. Why would I say upset? That's crazy. Patriots not that good. They got them a little win against Buffalo, and I appreciate that because I hate them folks. But it's not an upset. Saints beating the Patriots. Saints beating the Patriots. That's just what's supposed to happen. I got the Saints in this one, Kyle. I will go more of a lower scoring game.
No, let me stop. T-Stan, my man. My boy, check your boy, dog. I know you check your boy, dog, off like I check you out. T-Stan, I'm going to have to disagree with you, brother. And here's why. We rebuilding, baby. We were 0-4, and we just beat the New York Giants last week to get our first win. We just broke a 8-game losing streak dating back to last season. That was our first win in the Dome, and I believe the last team we beat it was the damn Giants. So it's been a minute. This team has won, the Patriots have won 3 out of their last 4 games. Impressively, their last 2. One against a Carolina team that, quite frankly, they were better than, especially on that day, much better than. And then to go against Buffalo, division opponent, and to go up there to Orchard Park and to do what they did and perform how they performed, I believe it would be an upset. Now, is it a big upset? No, it's not as big as the Giants beating the Eagles last night, or as the Browns upsetting the Packers when the Packers were looked up started out like the best team in the National Football League. But being where these two teams are now in their rebuild, because listen, though the Patriots are 3-2, they're rebuilding. I believe if the Saints are able to get this game, for one, it will be their first winning streak since last year, since they won their first 2 games of last season. It'll be their first, and a winning streak. That's not even a winning streak. It'll be their first back-to-back wins since winning their first 2 games to open the season last year. So that's why I believe it will, and would be an upset if the Saints were able to get past the Patriots this Sunday in the Superdome. Make no mistake about it, I think if the Saints come out, and they must continue to play mistake-free football, they cannot turn the ball over, get this team a short field. They cannot help the Patriots out at all. They're going to have to play sound, fundamental football. Spencer's going to have to continue doing what he's doing. Protect the football. And you heard what Kyle say. His numbers are down. He took more sacks last year. Not this year. He's getting out of the pocket more. His pocket presence is better this year. He's using his athletic ability to extend plays and rolling out the pocket. He's starting to use his legs more. Gradually, this young man is coming on. And it's just like T-Stan said. Spencer Rattler is not a damn placeholder. When he went out, when the Saints drafted Tyler Shuck, this kid went to work. And his mentality has been, I'm going to be the man. I'm going to be the man. I'm the afterthought now, like everybody talk about Tyler. I'm going to support him. He's going to be my teammate. But you better believe I'm trying to beat his ass out. And that's what he did. Now, he becomes the starter. There ain't no way in hell that kid's mentality is, I'm going to be a placeholder. He know the majority, half of who, because I say split, half of who that nation, but the majority of the national media, they're just waiting for him to fail so they can see Tyler Shuck. But like I said before the season even began, why we got to see Tyler Shuck? Why we can't see Tyler Shuck in mop-up duty after the Saints have secured a win? Why we can't see Tyler Shuck in that scenario? Why must it be because Spencer Rattler has struggled? It's playing bad. Has not won the game. Well, he won the game. Nah, all you who don't like him, what you gonna say? Yeah, but he won it 10. He only won one game. We gonna lose 10 more before he win another one? It be 2-20? I don't know. But I know when I watch this kid play, he's getting better. And that's what you want from your young quarterback. Am I wrong? Let me know in the chat. Am I wrong? Do we not want, I don't care if it was Tyler or Spencer. I said it all off season. I don't care who it is. They're my quarterback. Tyler's my backup quarterback. All we want to see was progress, good, steady progress by whoever won the job. Spencer has been steady. He has been getting better. Yes, 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 he has things to work on. Yes, he has to stop missing wide open receivers with inaccurate balls thrown it behind him. He has to start leading his receiver, giving them an opportunity to catch and get yak yards. He has to get better at that. But for the majority of the time, he's protecting the ball. And I saw in the chat someone put, yeah, but he has moved. A lot of intercepts got turned called back. Now, some of those intercepts that got, well, other than that, I believe it was the which one in the end zone, that was a bad throw. I believe against the maybe the season opener against the Cardinals. But the other intercepts he threw, it was because he knew there was a penalty on the play. He forced the ball. Now that one against the Giants this past week, I ain't gonna say he knew there was a penalty. He forced that damn ball in there. That was a bad decision on his part. On him. That was a bad decision by him. But at the same time, many have been saying he got to take more of a chance with the ball. We got to get the ball downfield. That's what he was trying to do. But for those who hate the young man, if that would have been ruled an intercept, they would have been standing up. They let their down two of the fingers go to work and saying, see, I told you, man, I'm tired. Man, miss me with that. If you're a New Orleans Saints fan, and listen when I say this, family, if you're a New Orleans Saints fan, it don't matter who's on the field, family. It doesn't matter who's on the field. We should want to see progress. And remember, in this rebuild that many of you called for, that many of you have been screaming for several years, right now, a lot of you, you're not built for a rebuild. You scream for it, but you're not built for it. You're unable to go through it. You're unable to take these lickings right now that we're taking. No, I was not happy with that ass whooping we received in Seattle, because that team the first 2 weeks fought their ass off, just like that team Sunday. So 3 of the 4 weeks, well, 4 of the 5 weeks, we have gotten, 4 of the 5 weeks, we have gotten a team that goes out there and fights and has had an opportunity to win in the closing moments or at the end of the game. That's all we can ask for in this rebuild. Now, what else did we want to see? We want to see young players grow besides at the quarterback position. What about your young tackle, Kelvin? Growing. Talisi Fuaga, a few weeks ago, he struggled in the game because of injury. But now he come back and he's close to healthy, and you know what you got now. The tackle, listen, I'm not even worrying about the tackle position right now. We know we're good in the middle with Eric McCoy. It's those 2 guards. And hell, Penny was not a problem this past Sunday, and season wasn't because he wasn't in the game. But he's working to get back, and he could be back this Sunday. And the Saints could have their starting offensive line in full attack. Listen, the Saints are going to have to run the ball. Alvin, of course, is dealing with a little ankle injury right now. Matter of fact, let's take a look at this. Let me see this injury update. This is as of October the 10th. So multiple players saw upgrades in the injury status as of yesterday. Trevor Penning, of course, he and Cesar Ruiz were dealing with ankles. Justin Reed, concussion protocol. All of those guys were upgraded to full participant in practice after being limited on Wednesday. John Ridgeway, Big Ridge seems to be on his way back. He could be brought up from injury reserve, so he could return to the active roster as early as maybe next week. Now, some players remain limited. Of course, Elvin dealing with that ankle, but that's where Kendre Miller comes in. This could be the moment. This could be the game where Kendre Miller unquestionably makes a statement to himself, to his teammates, and to who that nation that he is that thunder to Elvin's lightning. The kid ran the ball 10 times last week, 41 yards. Punishing runs, breaking tackles, stiff arms. And listen, it wasn't that big. It wasn't, he got out the gate and went for 40, 50, 60-yard touchdown. Appreciate running backs. Appreciate good vision. Appreciate breaking tackles in the backfield. Appreciate running through arm tackles because he's one of the top running backs in the league and forcing breaking tackles. In fact, 2 weeks ago, he was number 1 in the league, and he may still be. So Kendre Miller looking for that breakout game, and they could come this Sunday. I believe the Saints need to start getting Alvin more involved in the passing game. I would like to see him more involved in the passing game. Coming out the backfield, wheel routes, Texas route, put him in the slot, match him up against a safety, match him up against a linebacker. I'm perfectly fine with that. So Kendre Miller this Sunday could play big dividends for the New Orleans Saints. Some roster moves by the Saints. The Saints signed veteran cornerback Michael Davis. He has experienced cornerback. He previously played for Brandon Staley. The Saints did release running back Vallis Jones Jr. and brought back wide receiver Dante Pettis, who had last year with Pettis at the helm. The Saints were what? They were number 4 in the league in punt returns. So, and in the offseason, I was surprised. He was one that I thought because of the things that the things that he did on special teams in the return game and his ability to contribute as a receiver. I thought Dante Pettis was a player the Saints shouldn't have let go. And evidently, the Saints finally saw it. Vallis Jones, good preseason. He made the roster, man. But this special teams has been a mess. This special teams unit for the New Orleans Saints has to improve. And since we're talking about special teams, let's talk about Blake Grupe. Blake Grupe, family. Blake Grupe has to get his act together. You went through all the offseason workouts, mini camps, training camp, missed 1 field goal. Get into the regular season, and he's missed 5 field goals already. That's the stat kickers miss in a year. He's missed 5 field goals already. So average out a field goal a game because we played 5 games and he's missed 5. So if the trend continues, we can bet that Blake Grupe this Sunday will walk out there and miss another field goal. If Blake Grupe misses a field goal this Sunday that causes the New Orleans Saints a victory, what move do the New Orleans Saints need? I'm ready to see Charlie Smith because I think it's time. You can't allow players to feel comfortable. You can't allow players to feel comfortable. I don't care who it is. You don't do your job. You're not doing your job sufficient enough, efficient enough. It's time to put somebody else there. Blake Grupe left 6 punts on the field. The Saints should have had 32 last week instead of 26. Can't do that. Again, has to become consistent. This has been Blake Grupe's problem his entire career. Last year was the year. He was really consistent. 80% or more on his kicks last year. This season, he's back to that young kicker. Inconsistent. How long must we continue to deal with this inconsistency from Blake Grupe? He has to get better. And the coverage units, kickoff return units, most definitely have to get better because they're horrible. Punt return, we may have to make a move at the coaching position. At the coaching position, you got to shake things up, man. We cannot have people here feeling comfortable. No. We will not accept mediocrity, man. If you're not on board, you got to go. It's just that simple. I don't care who it is. That's from DeMario to Cam. I don't care who it is. If you're not doing your job, you got to go. Sit their ass down, put somebody else in, give them an opportunity. If the other person and that person that got benched cannot do the job, send both of their ass packing. You get somebody else in who wants the job, who's hungry, and will come in and take full advantage of it. Because they're not. Blake Grupe is not right now. Hell, he missed 5 field goals. Hell, all that, we could have just went with Charlie Smith. I'm just saying, family, take some more of your comments right fast. All right. Gizmo Flow says, Ray Lewis won 2 in godly fashion. That was my man. Dog, he had the Terminator arm in the second bowl because he ripped the entire bicep off the bone. Yeah, Ray Lewis was a beast. I don't know what the hell's going on. I know he is hurting like looking at that Ravens defense. Yeah, Ray Lewis is a beast, man. Thank you for being here, my friend. He says the Bucs just dominated the Raiders, but John Gruden was just their coach and had dungeon defense. He just gave them an offense to score a little because the D was so good. All right. He's in the building. JT, how you doing? Come on, man. What's going on, my brother? JT is in the building. All right. Who else is here? This is, let's see. Tim says, mop up after a Shakira win. Laugh or laugh. Yeah. Max and G say this is a big game for Rattler. It is a big game for Rattler. And I totally agree with you with that. This is a big game for Spencer Rattler. Finally got the monkey off his back as far as getting a W. And really, Spencer Rattler has been playing good enough football to have been got a W this season. But the team and him were able to finish this week. Now, the thing is, again, can the Saints win consecutive games for the first time since the beginning of last season when they opened up the season with 2 consecutive wins? We shall see. Let's see who else is in here. J Rock says, I think Vrabel is going to sit Gonzalez for 2 reasons. This is a non-conference game. They got a big win against the Bills, and we'll have a rematch against them in New England later. I'm going to look at the injury report with Gonzalez, man. I know he ain't too long come back. He has been dealing with some injuries. The defense won the game. Nothing was gifted to us ever. Yeah, the defense won that game, man. Now one of the turnovers was gifted to us. I don't know how the hell Jackson Dart dropped that ball, the one that Cam recovered. What I think it was, if you go back, family, look at it, he was running and he picked his head up and he was looking at I believe he was looking at Cam, and he was trying to switch hands with the ball and he just dropped the ball. So other than that, I would say that one was gift wrapped to the Saints, but the other 4, no. Hell of a play by Brian Bresee, man. punching that ball out. Jordan Howden, you know, right there on the spot, pick it up, take it to the house. Kool-Aid McKinstry, man, you know, serving as that convoy all the way down for him to get that touchdown. DeMario, at first it looked like Slayton just dropped the ball, but if you look at the video, DeMario slapped across his wrist, man, and that ball came out because he had yet to fully secure the ball. That was a big play. Sanker, Johnny on the spot. And, man, let's talk about Jonas Sanker. The Saints got something. The Saints have something in Jonas Sanker. That young, we didn't think he'd hit the field and play as much as he's playing now, but due to injury, and, man, listen, we've seen him. Remember that Buffalo game, the intercept, the pass before that, the breakup. This past Sunday, he's a ball hawk. He's, man, there was in the flat when he came up, man. I believe that was on Scalable or the other running back, man. He was like I call him a heat-seeking missile because that's what he is out there. Jonas Sanker, man, that young man has great promise. Quincy Riley, I believe Quincy Riley. Just one thing that I've noticed about Quincy Riley in his brief time in the playing starting for the Saints right now is this. He's always there. It's contested, like I said earlier. Contested. Make them make contested catches. Fight, man. Fight. Now, on that touchdown, I believe it was the first touchdown, the Giants tight end, Theo Johnson. I believe there was some, or the second one, there was some confusion because he was left, and you can see when he came off the line of scrimmage, nobody went with him. As soon as the ball was snapped, I said, oh, touchdown right there. Because nobody even looked at him. And then he got inside position on Kool-Aid. And that's a big boy. Theo Jones is a big guy. You know? But again, we got to get pressure, man. Saints cannot afford to be falling behind in these games by 2 touchdowns or more. Every team is not the Giants. They're not going to turn the ball over 5 times. Again, the over-under for the Giants, for the Patriots turning the ball over 5 times in this game is 1, if that. I don't see them turning the ball over. The Saints are going to have to force turnovers. So we will see. Yeah, JT said, dog with the Hall of Fame, Jack. Yo, baby, I'm getting ready for Canton, baby. The Canton of announcers, baby. That's right. What's going on, JT? Man, you a fool, man. Jason said the Dawn Patrol was, and always be the GOATs. Oh, yeah, the greatest group of linebackers to play together. Yes. There has not been a better group of linebackers on the field at the same time than the Dawn Patrol. And it has been voted on by those around the National Football League. It is fact. Am I saying they were individually the best? No. Ricky Jackson was one of the best. Pat Swilling, by the way, won Defensive Player of the Year twice, and he hadn't even been – his name hasn't even scratched the surface of being mentioned for the Hall of Fame. I don't understand that. But Pat Swilling was a problem. We know what the late Sam Mills was and Von Johnson. Steve Young once said, nobody ever hit me as hard as Von Johnson. He used to look for Von Johnson. He used to look for me. That's what they used to call Von Johnson me. He used to look for him, man. All right. So, boy, say dog with the Hall of Fame, Jacob. Boy, you got a joke. All right, fam, I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you'd like to come on with me now, come on, give me your thoughts for this Sunday matchup against the Patriots. How do you feel the New Orleans Saints are progressing in this rebuild after 5 weeks? I believe we'll really start to see this team start to take identity by week 8. And the second half of the season, I believe we will see a more efficient offense and defense from this team. But most importantly, we got to get when you're going through a rebuild and you have very little room for error, you got to get good play from your special teams, man. They can hurt you or they can help you. And right now, the same special teams units have been hurting this ball club. All right, fam, the link is in the chat. Please hit that link. Please come on with your boy Dolph. And let's talk about Drake May again. So right now, Drake May is on pace to become the 3rd player in the history of the National Football League. I'm going to say this again. Drake May is on pace to become the 3rd player in the history of the National Football League to average at least 250 passing yards per game and a passing rating of 105 or better. I'm gonna repeat that one more time because I need y'all to understand that this young man coming to the Dome Sunday, this kid can ball. He can ball. Like I said, he is on pace to be the 3rd player in the history of the National Football League to average at least 250 passing yards and a passing rating of 105 or better. Now, who would he join? How about Patrick Mahomes and the great Dan Marino? That's it. I didn't say Aaron Rodgers. I didn't say Drew Brees. I didn't say Peyton Manning. I said Patrick Mahomes and Dan Marino. Marino did it in 84. Mahomes did it in 18. And by the way, that year, both of those gentlemen won NFL MVP. Drake May is coming to the Dome Sunday. It will not be an easy game. That kid's for real. Any team coached by Mike Vrabel, you already know. You better bring your lunch hat, baby, because it's going to be a battle. And I believe the Saints will be up for the task. I believe this will be a good football game, a good battle between the Saints and Patriots. It's going to come down to the trenches, and the Saints must, in my opinion, establish a running game, and they must hit. They must get Olave going right now. They got to get him going more. He was targeted 11 times, had 7 receptions this past week. We got to get that average per target up, and we got to get that average per reception in those yak yards up for Olave. Look for Taysom Hill to be even just a little bit more involved in this game. Having him back is good because it gives you another weapon, another player that the defense has to account for, and you have to account for Taysom everywhere. Foster Moreau came back. That was good to have him back, have his blocking on the field, have his good hands at the tight end to go with Juwan Johnson, who was a little quiet. This past Sunday. We would need more from Juwan Johnson going forward, and we need that offensive line to come off that ball all day long. Defensively and offensively, especially defensively. The Saints, early on in that game, y'all hear me say this every week. Early on in that game, the Saints were losing on first down. The Giants were in 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4. You can't give up 76 yards or more on first down in the National Football League. It's too hard. If the playbook is entirely open to the offensive coordinator, man, it's going to be a very difficult day. But the Saints buckled down. Those turnovers helped. They forced 4 of those turnovers. Like I say, I think that Jackson Dart fumble, that was not, no one hit him, no one touched him. That was a gift. But the other 4, the Saints forced, man. So they're going to have to get turnovers this week. They're going to have to be more efficient on 3rd down this week. The Saints last week on 3rd down, what were the Saints on 3rd down? I believe they were 3 let's see. Last week, I believe the Saints were like 3 of 10 on 3rd downs, while the Patriots, they were only 3 of 9 on 3rd downs themselves. So 3rd down is going to be critical for these teams, for both teams this Sunday. All right, we got another comment coming in. Let's see. Jason K said, "Dog, with the I wore this ridiculous thing for you, my cousin Vinny jacket." Well, y'all something, boy. All right, what Jimmy, what you talking about? Jimmy says, think about it. I'm serious. Let me see what Jimmy was up in there talking about. What Jimmy said. I don't know. Jimmy just got in here. Well, I don't see your previous comment, Jimmy. Jimmy, you talking to me or who you talking to? Are you talking to somebody in the chat? Because you say, I understand everything you say, but just be honest. Honest about what, brother? Tell me what you're talking about. All right, family. So And a few more notes before we get on out of here. Again, the Patriots defense has allowed a minus 73 yards over expected on design runs this season, which is the second lowest mark in the NFL. Despite contacting opposing runners on only 43% of their design carries, they had limited ball carriers to just 2.5 yards after contact. So we're going to have to again, Saints going to have to establish that line of scrimmage, going to have to establish the run game. Alvin dealing with an ankle injury, but not one that should stop him from playing. But this, again, I believe Kendre Miller could be a big factor in this game, and this could be his coming out party. So, again, family, we are previewing the Saints and the Patriots this Sunday, Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, 12 noon kickoff. Well, family, before we get out of here, right now, family, put it in the chat. Who you got, baby? Give me your predictions right now. If you want to put a scope in there, feel free to do. What is your prediction right now? Who do you have winning this game this Sunday? Do the Patriots continue their winning ways? Do they become winners of 4 of their last 5? Or do the Saints win consecutive games for the first time since the beginning of the 2024 season when they started off 2-0? Let your boy Dolph know right quick, family. Let me know in the chat, family. Make it known, baby. Put it in the chat, family. Now, before we get out of here, again, I told you I had another video I wanted to watch. This, I believe, is Josh McDaniels. Man, time change, man. Josh got a grade in here, baby. I believe this with Josh McDaniels. Speaking about taking on the New Orleans Saints and the Saints defense. So let me get that up for you, family. And let me share the screen with you. We should have that good to go. There we go. And we ready to rock, baby. There we go. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, family.
He's kind of, he's got his own flavor of things he does schematically, certainly in their first year. So they're kind of getting familiar with their personnel and the fit. They're playing really well in a lot of phases. So physical front, very tough, big guys on the edge. 90s really becoming a really good player inside in all 3 downs. The linebackers certainly are very active, instinctive. 56 and 94. Between the two of them, they got way more experience than I do in the National Football League. So those 2 guys seem to know when things are happening, when they're coming. You can tell how much communication that they're involved in on the defense. So secondaries, tight coverage, good disguise, challenge you with pressures on 3rd down. So they do a great job, always have. And this group is a group that we're certainly getting familiar with, and excited for the opportunity to go play another game on the road.
Josh McDaniels calling out some of those Saints veterans that we have talked about here this morning on Foxborough Rush. Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, of course. And we say hello and welcome to Luke Johnson, who.
All right, family. So you heard those comments right there. Again, respect to Demario, respect to Cam. We need the youngsters to come to play. We need the growth from these young players. Brian Bresee has been take that player went away. Brian Bresee has been playing good football. He has been getting pressures. The sacks haven't come in bunches yet, but the one area we wanted him to improve in, the area that he needed to improve in, was none other than what? Against the run. So he has done that now. He has improved in the run area and his run defense this season for the New Orleans Saints. So glad to see that growth. And on that play that he forced that fumble, remember, he was taking on 2 defenders. He was being blocked, but he was standing his ground. He had good technique, and he was able to get that hand out and punch that ball out. That was a gigantic play in that game, and pretty much sealed that game for the New Orleans Saints. So again, Saints taking on the Patriots this Sunday, Louisiana Superdome. All right, let's see. I got a score prediction. I saw it. All right, here we go. Jerry says Saints win 28-17. Okay. Max and G says 35-20 Patriots. All right. Jerry says, I think Tim said 31-9 Saints. Max and G said we can't score in the red zone, so I'm expecting field goals. Hey, that's legitimate, bro. You can't go 0 for 5 in the field in the red zone, man. You can't go 0 for 5. Cannot. I'm with you there, man. Hey, they got to show us, man. They got to show us. All right, I removed the opposing team. Okay, got you, G. My prediction will change once my Saints start scoring in the red zone. Yeah, they got to, man. They got to, man. They got to improve in the red zone right now. And Alvin Kamara, let's talk about Alvin before we get out of here. Alvin has 590 career receptions. He is 10 away, 10 receptions, which he'll get this season, from becoming the fourth running back in NFL history with 600 career receptions. Now, who will he join? He's already in their class, but who will he join in the 600 reception club? Well, how about Hall of Famers, New Orleans native Marshall Faulk, former San Diego Charger LT LaDamia Thomason, and Larry Centers as the only backs to do it. So Alvin, man, chasing history. He could establish that history this Sunday, man. But Alvin is only 10 away from becoming number 4 in the history of the National Football League in receptions by a running back. He is 10 away from 600 career receptions, man. And he's also, by the way, the leading rusher in the history of the New Orleans Saints without even having a 1,000-yard season. That's even more remarkable to me. The man is the leading rusher in the history of the franchise and has not had a 1,000-yard rushing season. Make it make sense. You know what makes sense? He's AK. He's Alvin Kamara. That's why it makes sense. He's that damn good. He's that damn good. Nah, Roger Craig's on the list, Rock, but he's not the top. He's not the top. He's not in the top. He's not in the top 5. Matter of fact, let me look that up while we're here. Let's look that up. I'm gonna look up top 10 NFL receptions. Receptions. I'm talking about receptions by a running back. Let's see. Let's see the search, what they give us, baby. I mean, all the time. They give me 2025. Let's go all the time. Let me put all the time. Sometimes it's the wording you put in there, baby. It's need that key word. I see running back. Here we go. Most receptions by a running back. They gave me everything but we need. What we need, family. Let's see. Let's see what they give us now. I put it in last time. They gave me all right. Let me go to StatMuse. For yours on StatMuse, man, they be having a lot of stuff on StatMuse, family. All right, family. So here we go. I'm gonna share the screen with you. Get you up. Let me share the screen. We're going to share this tab here. Stat Muse. Let's take a look at this, man. So we can see the company that Elvin's about to join, man. All right. So number one on the list, New Orleans native from that night, well, baby, Marshall Faulk, 767 receptions on 606 targets for 6,875 yards and 36 touchdowns. And by the way, he rushed for 12,279 yards, one of the greatest of all times. Larry Centers played with the, I believe Larry Centers. I remember he played with the Cardinals. I want to say who else he played with. Another NFC West team. I believe not the Rams. I think he went to the AFC. But Larry Centers, 761 receptions on 386 targets. Hold on. That don't make no damn sense. TRG, that's targets. Yeah, that don't matter. They got something messed up right there. But receptions, Larry Centers second was 761. In his career, he rushed for 2,036 yards. He was that receiving back. LaDainian Tomlinson, Hall of Famer, 624 receptions. He rushed for 13,684 yards. He had 17 receiving touchdowns. And let me go back to Larry. He had 25 receiving touchdowns. Remember Keith Byers from Ohio State and the Philadelphia Eagles? Keith Byers, 610 receptions. In his career, 31 touchdowns. He rushed for 3,109 yards. He averaged 9.3 yards a reception. Larry averaged 8.1. Marshall right at 9 yards per reception. LaDainian 7.6. And look who's sitting number 5 with 590. I think StatMuse is off, or these. I think StatMuse a little off because it says he will move in the forward place behind Centers, Falk, and Tomlinson, becoming the fullback in NFL history. So, not sure with Keith Byers. I'm gonna look that up, have that for y'all on Sunday in the pregame that we do. All right, but there's Alvin with 590 receptions. He's rushed for 7,062 yards. And he has 25 receiving touchdowns. Now, who's he in front? Marcus Allen, Tiki Barber, Ronnie Holman had some great years. And there's Roger Craig right there, J-Rock. Roger Craig, 566 career receptions, 17 touchdowns. He rushed for 8,189 yards. Christian McCaffrey is 10th with 563 yards. So let's go to another. That's StatMuse. Let's see who else we can go. It's not giving me what's going on with this. Let me see. Let's give me one. Yeah. So Larry Centers. I forgot about Larry Centers, man. I didn't know he was number 2 on the list. I knew that was his main thing. So, but anyway, we'll look it up. Yeah, that's what Roger Craig is. He's 10th on the list. But listen, family, if nobody, hold on, Jerry said, Dolph, no, I'm telling the truth, and who that nation knows it. Man, what is the conversation? What's the truth you're telling, Jerry? Hit the link. Come on in and let Dolph know what's going on, baby. Y'all, family having a hell of a discussion in the chat. I want to know what's going on, Dolph. Dolph know I'm telling the truth. And what you telling the truth about, G? Telling the truth about, Jerry? J-Rock, there are quite a few. Yes, there are quite a few Hall of Famers on that list, Jay. You are correct, sir. You are correct. Quite a few on that list. Let's see. Matter of fact, let me go back, find something. That was StatMuse. Let's see if we could find something else. One more to kind of let me see. We got it on this one database. Jerry Rice just crazy. How the hell Jerry Rice, Larry Fitzgerald, Tony Gonzalez, Jason, over 1,000 receptions? That's crazy to me. Let's see. They don't give it by position though. Let's see. No, let me see. So I can't use that one. Hold on, fam. I'm searching for you, fam. I'm trying to make sure we accurate here. Let's try another one. That one didn't do it for us. No, we ain't worrying about the current season. We worrying about history. Best catching backs all time. I don't want the ranking. Let's see. Marshall Fogg, Chris McCaffrey, not second best. Stat Muse right now is the one it keeps giving me, that search keeps giving me. So we just checked them out. Let's see about the let's see. Family. I'm trying to get this for us. Hell, I want to make sure we do shit. All right. So we say Stat Muse, Stat Muse lineup. I don't know what lineups on. Let's go to Football Reference. Into person team section. That's running backs, man. Reception leader. All-time running backs. Let's see what they give us. All right, let's see if we can search that thing. It says 0. All right, hold on. It ain't working, baby. Guess they're telling me like, dog, it ain't that important right now. J-Rock say, Doug, what are your thoughts on Michael Irvin calling out saying Deion Sanders will not be able to cover today's wide receivers? Man, bro. So, fam, I believe I saw that yesterday. And when we know Michael Irvin is a, energetic guy, man, but the guy hit a nerve with Michael Irvin, man. And Michael just totally lost it. Like, Michael's like, I just got up and I grabbed my phone and I see this BS. Matter of fact, Rock, let me find it, Rock. I got to find that, Mark. I got to find that and play that, Rock, man. For those who didn't see it, Hall of Famer Michael Irvin goes off on this podcaster who says that Deion Sanders couldn't cover the receivers of today. Let me go to X and look that up. That's crazy, man. Oh, he went off, man. I'm telling y'all, if y'all haven't heard it, just get ready, man. Because he went plumb off on that ass, man. The playmaker. Where the playmaker at? Oh, man. What is this? I ain't no notifications. Search it. Oh, trending. Let me go to trending. Michael Irvin should be trending, man. Hey, Michael Irvin. All right. Where's the playmaker? I got it, y'all. I got it, family. Hold your horses, baby. All right, here we go, man. Here we go, family. Again, put a 1 in your chat if you can hear this, family. I'm telling you, y'all gonna enjoy this. This shit here, this is entertainment right here. Michael Irvin, like, man, what is you talking about? Here we go, family.
but they want that fast. Are you? The receivers from back then
Might not be prime though. What are you gonna be?
they were stronger, but they want that fast. Are you shitting me? We are the two most accomplished receivers in the history of this game. When you're talking about the most important things, championships, and your stupid ass talking about running fast. The receivers from back then
Might not be prime though. What are you gonna be?
Hold on, family. I got to get the full version for those of you who didn't hear it, so you can hear it, man. It was totally crazy, man. Here you go. I got it. No, that's hold on. Where is it, man? Let's see. I can't get on. I'm trying to get the full video, man, of it, man. Let's see. What is this one? This one's 32 seconds. This one is here we go. Here we go. I got one for you. I got one for you, family. Here we go. We go. There it is. Let's go with that one, baby. Here we go, family. Watch playmaker. And let me know if you agree with the guy saying or you agree with Michael Irvin.
every week. Every team got a dude or two that will bust your ass. The receivers from back then,
Might not be prime though.
these guys that he played against want that fast, bro. They were stronger, but they want that fast. These guys now, I'd love to see him. I would have loved to see him play against Chad in his prime. I would have loved to see him play against Justin Jefferson right now today. You know, all these different guys. I would love to see him cover Tyreek. If Prime is who we think he is. Are you shitting me? We are the two most accomplished receivers in the history of this game. When you're talking about the most important things, championships, and your stupid ass talking about running fast, like people weren't running fast back then. Are you shitting me? What the hell are you talking about? I don't even know your name. And I certainly don't know your game because you don't. I don't see you every year with a gold jacket in that Hall of Fame room. I don't see you anywhere great players are. So who the fuck are you to talk about what? Deion Sanders couldn't cover these guys today. Do you really know what you're talking about? Do you really have any clue at what you're talking about? You think there were not fast guys in the league when I played? You think Tyreek Hill can outrun an Olympian like Bullet Bob Hayes, who played before me? You think he can outrun the Ronaldo Nehemiahs who tried to play in this game? You know why he tried? Because they wanted speed in the game, but other things were required when we played. You mugs get to run around and play fucking 7-on-7 touch football. We had pain in our game, and y'all don't even know shit about pain. Every route you got hit, even running around in the middle of, you could get tapped by those linebackers. They took all of that out the game because y'all asses were soft. And you're
I'm gonna stop it right there. Say, bro. Listen. Hey, family, let me know. The antics aside, listen. It hit a nerve with Mike Irvin. And it's kind of like everybody, and I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing. No, this is just my opinion. I think that on that day, that comment that gentleman made, that guy made, it was the wrong day for Mike Irvin to hear. Because I believe that a lot of people have been going out their way to attack Deion Sanders as a player and really downplaying how damn great, not good, how damn great he really was. And like Michael Irvin was saying, it's asinine to say that there were not any fast wide receivers during that time. There were a lot. And I'm gonna let Michael Irvin finish. But for those of you who didn't see it, I'm gonna finish playing it. I see Tim say it's soft. I sense no lies detected. J-Rock says so. I'm gonna keep playing it, family. So let's continue here with Michael Irvin answering this comment by this gentleman. I don't know the guy's name, but let's finish here. Let's see. Let me get it started again. All right, family, here we go.
Couldn't take it. You come from a damn era of everybody gets a trophy in NIL where nobody fights for a starting job. I ain't started. I'm going to go leave and start somewhere else. Get the fuck out of my face talking noise until you know what you're talking about. I will dominate this era of football. Dominate. Football's not about running fast. It's not about speed. It's about getting the job done. It's about getting the job done. And you won't tell me you know somebody that got the job done better than me, better than Jerry Rice, that you're going to use our picture and trying to make your point? Are you stupid or are you stupid? There was separate from ball, separation from the football. And it was allowed. It was encouraged. It was actually praised when you knock somebody out.
Remember those videos, fam?
If anybody hit your asses, they'll suspend them for 3 weeks. You couldn't even play when I played the game. And some of these fucks you're talking about, they couldn't even play when we played the game. And even to tap on to how dumb you are and how stupid y'all asses are with oh my God, when you started talking about, well, Deion couldn't play with these guys. I want to see him play with some real fast guys. See if he can play with all these speed guys. And then the first 2 examples you bring up was Chad Johnson and Justin Jefferson, who are not fast guys. I don't mind you being stupid. I don't mind you being dumb. I don't mind you not knowing what the fuck you talking about, but keep my name out your mouth when you don't know what you're talking about. Keep my name and my image. Don't try to shit on my work when I won championships on every level. On every level. When they can knock niggas out.
Oh!
I call passes in the midst of pain. Y'all don't do that. Y'all ain't never had to do that. So shut the hell up. You or none of these fucks can play and do the things I did. So shut the hell up. I won championships. That means I went in and made plays where pain lived. Y'all can't do that. Dude, I'll catch 200 passes in today's game. Literally 200 passes a year. A year. I ain't never catch a pass behind the line of scrimmage in my whole career. All my passes were up the field in the midst of pain. And I caught them anyway. And I caught them every day, and I caught them every kind of way. And the bigger the game, the bigger I played. So I don't care that you stupid. I don't care that your ass is ignorant. And I don't care that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But don't use my fucking image. Don't use my image. Don't use my image. And don't use Jerry Rice's image. Use somebody else. I don't know if you did it or your producers, but whoever did it, shit on y'all.
All right, family. Hey, let me get your response to what he's saying, because I'm going to say this. Hell, where he lying at? Where he lying at? Now, I ain't going to say none of these kids today couldn't play back then, but it was a totally different game. Do y'all remember we used to, and he went on a little further when he was talking about when he was on ESPN. You remember the segment we used to wait for every Sunday on ESPN, Jacked Up? You got jacked up. Remember that? That ain't no more. He even went to talking about going across the middle, you know, with a Ronnie Lott right there. How about those who remember Steve Atwater? So, I mean, the game is different now. The league has changed. They wanted to put more, you know, bring more eyes on the league. They wanted to put more scoring in the league. There's no doubt about it. Do I think some of these kids, a lot, could play back then? Yes. But for people to keep trying to shit on that era of football and shit on those players, thinking just because this era is what it is, that those guys back then couldn't play. Bro, when you're great, you're great. When you're great, you're great. Deion Sanders was a different cat. Darryl Green was a different cat. A lot of you who younger, you got, who the hell is Darryl Green? Look him up. Darryl Green was different. And what he is saying that, now, we didn't mistake Michael Irvin for being a speedster, but he was a fucking technician out there. He was one, listen, and when Narati couldn't run, he was physical, had to be, and they had to have courage. Because they used to knock your ass out. You remember, I'm going back to Blockbuster video. Used to go get those videos, man. Hardest hits. Y'all remember that? All that, the hardest hits, man. They hit stick and all that shit come from on Madden. Where y'all think that come from? Not just recently. It was before Ray Lewis and all them. Hell, not even like it was when Ray Lewis was playing in their prime. So things have changed in this league. Hell, just go back to the Saints game against the damn Giants in the sack that they call roughing the passer. He didn't even land on the man. Didn't hit him in the head. Didn't hit him under the chin. Didn't power drive him in the ground. Turned to the side. Didn't land on him. And they called pass interference. And I said it then, and I'm going to say it again right now. That is where the NFL is failing. When there is egregious calls such as that was made Sunday, let's just say this was the NFC Championship game, and we all know what happened there, and shit wasn't done. But just say this was to go to the Super Bowl, and that call right there would have advanced the ball and scoring position for the Giants to help them win the game. On a call like that, you know how much money people would have lost. You know how many people would have lost their mind over that play. And that official ass should not be allowed to referee this week, next week, the following week, or the week after that. His ass should be suspended, barring an investigation. Because when you make a bullshit call like that, I think his ass had some money on the game. Or he had somebody cool with that had some money and bread on the game. I could be dead wrong, but that's what I think. Because that was an asinine, weak ass, terrible ass, what the hell you watching ass call. There's no way that should have been roughing the passer. No way. But let's go and take your comments on the video we just watched with Michael Irvin. J-Rock say, well, damn, tell us how you really feel, playmaker. JT says, Jack Tatum, little before my time. Saw videos on Jack Tatum. The team world-class speed was frequently associated with Darryl Green. That's right. Tim Dunn says, NFL Crunch Course. Okay. Yeah, man, y'all remember those videos, man? NFL, look, matter of fact, after the stream, go ahead and look on YouTube. NFL hardest hits of all time. NFL made bread off of that, man. Y'all remember ESPN, calling people out, Larry Fitzgerald, you got jacked up. Y'all remember that segment, man? It was crazy, man. It was crazy, family. It was crazy. All right, family, listen, we about to get on out of here, family. I want to thank you all for joining us for the Keeping It Real Who That Sports podcast. As we have just previewed Sunday's game with the Patriots and the Saints. The Patriots come in winners of 3 of their last 4, looking to make it 4 out of 5. The Saints just broke an 8-game losing streak dating back to last December of last year. The Saints look to win consecutive games for the first time since the beginning of the 2024 season. I don't know how it's going to play out. I do believe the Saints have a chance. And for my prediction of this game, you're going to have to tune in this Sunday morning, family, 10 a.m. Central, here on the Come On In Sports Network and the Keep It Real Who That Sports podcast for As the NFL Turns, the fastest growing pregame show on all the social media. I will be joined by my hosts, Zach, Nonfiction, Carlos, PJ, Learns, Jeremy, and Cowboy. And of course, my co-host here on the Keep It Real Who That Sports podcast, the oatmeal eating one himself, the legendary Coach Rock. So join us this Sunday, family, as we will get you ready for all of the action in week 6. And I will give you my prediction Sunday on who I believe will be victorious in the Saints and Patriots game. And also, remember, the most exciting segment in all of pregame shows this season is Straight Baller. Who will be your straight baller for the day? Last week, I believe I went with Jamil Gibbs, and every time I go with Jamil Gibbs, I can score a touchdown. I'm just saying. Who would be your straight baller? Well, for me, I ain't giving you nothing, family, early. You got to tune in Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm working on having a special guest host to join us this Sunday, family. But until then, family, like always, love and who that. And we out. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. I see everybody Sunday morning for As the NFL Turns pregame show. And also live coverage, play-by-play action of the New England Patriots taking on your New Orleans Saints. Who that?